welcome. Had to fix the mic there. All right. What's up, Mr. Robinson, Zeke, Plebere, Matt, Chetta, Keanu Trades? We got a couple things coming up this week. Keanu's bearish right now, it looks like. But yeah, there's a lot of announcements this stream. I mean, just to start off, Wednesday morning, I'm going to be doing live trading on Twitter Spaces with Keanu. And then Wednesday night, Keanu's going to be on the stream. So Wednesday's going to be great. What's up, GD Trading? All right. So we got a lot to talk about. This week we have the interest rate decision from the Fed. Powell's going to be speaking on Wednesday. We obviously have inflation still inflating, and just a bunch of different crazy things going on all around the world that are affecting the markets. We are in a official bear market for the QQQ, the Nasdaq, the Russell 2000, not the S&P 500, but the S&P 500 is an official correction, I believe. So yeah, we're living a bear market right now. I mean, that's nothing new. It's been about 2 months, at least for like the major indices. And if you've been trading mid-cap growth stocks, it's been over a year at this point since the ARK topped out. So that's where we are. And yeah, let's get started with Bitcoin, Ethereum. After I talk about some cryptos, we will talk about the overall stock market. I'll look at some individual names. We'll talk about Tesla, CLOV. GameStop was down 16% today. AMC, Fisker, all that good stuff. And today was pretty interesting because last week we had a little bit of a, I don't know really the best way to put it, but last week we'd have like red days for the market, but then like energy and oil stocks would be green, and then vice versa. We'd have, you know, a couple pullback days for energy and oil stocks when the market when the market bounced up. But today you were red across the board. You know, the indices were red, and a lot of, and let me see if the actual energy sector closed red really quickly. But the ones on my watch list were red. Looks like financials had a good day today. Yeah, but energy did close red today with the overall market. So today really, apart from financials and healthcare, you had a pretty red day. Definitely very red for large cap and tech. You also had the 10-year bonds hit new highs. So you have all that going on. We're going to break it all down, starting off with Bitcoin, which is doing nothing. Surprise, surprise. Bitcoin is still just going sideways. It's been doing this for a while. I mean, if we're not going to count like this, you know, move up and then back down with the crypto regulation news, apart from that, you've literally been going sideways for 10 days now on Bitcoin. I mean, it's been between 37 and 40K for 10 days, apart from that little catalyst spike. We'll call it actually, I was going to say something I probably shouldn't. Never mind. So we'll leave it at that. That's really it. I mean, until there's more data on Bitcoin, it is still within this range between 33K and 46K. Maybe you could trade inside the range. Maybe you can't. You do whatever you want, but for me, I gotta wait until it breaks either direction to have some sort of a better edge on Bitcoin. However, it is nice to see you're still making higher lows slowly but surely, but you want to also be making higher highs to get that trend reversal. Ethereum, same thing, just been going sideways. You're in the middle of this symmetrical triangle. This all did take place after hitting the PCZ of a shark, which did lead to like a 53% rally, and then you pulled back 30%, and now you're just going sideways. So same thing, you're making lower highs but also higher lows. Just a lot of indecision in the crypto market right now. That's probably the easiest way to view it. So yeah, I wasn't live Friday or last night, so just trying to recap. You know, really nothing happened in the last 4 days for crypto, at least for like the main ones. Of course, there's probably some altcoins doing crazy things as per usual. Before we get over to the actual stock market indices, let's talk about some other markets and futures. Futures are slightly green for the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. We'll take a look at oil, which is continuing its pullback. Remember, we talked about this bearish engulfing candle and the breakdown on March 9th. You're seeing your follow through price action after the breakdown. You fell back under very important resistance from 2013 and 2011. You got above it for a little bit last week, and then you ended up pulling back under it. So I did say last week you could see a pullback or this pullback continue as long as you stay above your resistance, obviously. The levels to chart, that's really it for oil. Obviously, it's mainly catalysts that are going to be moving it for right now, not technicals. Gold continuing its pullback after its bearish engulfing candle. And we also talked about this. Remember the potential for something like a cup and handle on gold. Now you're starting to get that potential handle. You're pulling back. Support is 1921. Okay. The dollar is moving higher. Another one. I mean, it's just really interesting to see how these charts are playing out. This broke above a resistance, and then it came to back test the resistance. We talked about it on this exact day on March 9th, and since it back tested it, it's been going higher, and now it's retesting its highs of its current rally. 99.697 is the next resistance for the dollar currency. Silver. So this is a silver ETF. It's not spot, but you actually did give up your resistance unit. It was pretty similar to oil actually. You tried breaking above resistance, but you couldn't hold it. Now you're falling back down. So you're kind of seeing, like, apart from maybe bonds, now even metals and oil and energy is also pulling back with the market. We're only talking about a couple of days, but it is interesting to see that not even those names are holding up anymore. But remember, we were talking about how these things were pretty overbought at the beginning of last week on the RSIs, so you can't really be surprised that they're pulling back now. And I think that's really it. The Russian market is still closed. The Hang Seng Index is actually dumping. I mean, we've been talking about it since the initial breakdown at 27 or 22.7K. Then we said the next support was over here, and then it gapped under that support. And then I did say the next support after that is 19,649, which dates back to a double bottom in May of 2016 and June of 2016. And you broke that on the Hang Seng Index. So it is now getting closer towards filling this gap over here at 19.4K from March 2nd of 2016. So it's slightly under this little support over here, but you still have a gap fill. If that doesn't hold, then we're talking like potentially like 18.2K. So very, very large pullbacks. That's really the only way to look at this point. Maybe this could be an alternate bat. Let's see. It's pretty close to an alternate bat if it were to reverse like right here, but there's not much else giving you any signals apart from that potential zone, and it's pretty deep from B to D. So I wouldn't really focus it or look at it like that. Cheta says China lockdown, pulling Apple and China stocks further today. I did see news about that. So yeah. Let's move over to the stock market now. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Death cross confirmed on the S&P 500. This yellow line over here is the 200-day moving average. Let me pull up a 50-day moving average. And there you go. So the green line is your 50-day moving average, and the yellow line is 200. This is your death cross, where your shorter-term moving average is falling under your longer-term moving average, or your 50-day moving average is falling under your 200-day moving average. And let's see. You actually had a golden cross right over here in July of 2020, and you also had a death cross in March of 2020. So the death cross in March of 2020 did not really do much. You actually rallied after it. But you have to remember that these are lagging indicators, and they're pretty high time frame moving averages. And also we're talking about the COVID crash. So yeah, you had a golden cross here, death cross here. This one played out pretty nicely, but you get the point. So yeah, Chad has been warning about that, I think, for a couple of weeks now, and it's finally happening. It just sounds very scary, doesn't it? The death cross. So I think Bitcoin had like a really historic death cross like way back in the day. Let me get like a fresh chart on Bitcoin. Oh, let's look at the Binance. Was this it? No, I think this was too recent. I always thought there was like a death cross. Like, this is not showing 2018. That's why. Let's see. Maybe Gemini has one. Wow. So this was yeah, this was it. This was your death cross on Bitcoin. It was about 9K. That sent it down to about 3K by 2019. You had another one over here, another one over here, and then you had a golden cross in May of 2020, right before Bitcoin went from like 8K to its all-time highs at pretty much 70K. So yeah, those are your death crosses. You have that on the S&P 500 now. You can even take a look at the actual S&P 500 index to see that. and let's get started with the overall market analysis. What's up, Mehdi? How you doing? So, looks like you're breaking down yet again. That's really the only way to put it. I've been talking about this head and shoulders on the S&P 500 since the beginning of the year. Since we were up at this area, I was saying, you know, if anybody was watching the streams back towards the end of January, beginning of February, right over here, I was saying I was bearish because we were not able to break above this February 2nd high. So all the way over here, go back to my streams, I was saying bearish, bearish, bearish. I even sent premium members like a long message one Friday. I forgot which date it was. I showed it on stream a couple times. Saying like, all right, this is looking pretty bad. I think you're going to head down to the neckline of the head and shoulders and test it. And then you did. And then Russia invaded Ukraine, and then the market bounced, and now we're selling off again. So this is one of the only markets or equity markets in the world that it still really hasn't broken under that low. You look at the Russian market itself, which is kind of halted out. You look at European markets, you look at the Hang Seng Index. They're going lower and lower, and we're still we haven't even broken that low from February 24th, which was the morning after the invasion, I believe. So now you're retesting it. You're pretty much retesting your lows of the bear market for the S&P, or not the S&P, but the NASDAQ and the Russell, which are unofficial bear markets. Your NASDAQ literally is retesting its low of this whole entire bear market. If that breaks, the next support I see for the NASDAQ is 12.4K. The QQQ, pretty similar, is doing the same exact thing. It's testing an area, 316. I said that was your support last week on stream. You're only 2 points above it now. Okay, these were your lows from last May. This is pretty much your low from February 24th. Make or break area for the QQQ. Russell 2000. It actually broke down on the 4-hour. It was in this triangle pattern, and the Russell 2000 broke down from that today. So the support for the Russell now is the bottom of its range, which is in between 188 and 205. You could see the range a little bit clearer here, but it's on all my time frames, and I've been talking about this range on the Russell for weeks now. I've been saying until this gets above 205 or under 188, there just isn't much of an edge for small caps overall. Of course, you could find an edge on individual names, but just for the overall small cap sector, you're just going sideways, which I guess is better than other sectors, because the QQQ, the NASDAQ, the large cap tech sector, is pretty much like slightly under its lows from February 24th. The Russell is still above it, not well above it, but it's still above it. So it did underperform on the rally, but it's also not underperforming as much as the NASDAQ is now in terms of where it was on that day. So that's the Russell 2000. The ARK ETF, it's getting very, very close. And I told you all that I might enter leaps around $50 on the ARK ETF. I still might. I haven't done that yet. But $50 will be back testing all of this resistance from 2018, 2019. It's also going to be a weekly bullish BAT PCZ pattern completion zone. You have some potential classic bullish divergence pretty much. You're in this down sloping channel. This thing's been selling off long before the S&P and the NASDAQ and the Russell all started selling off way before all those. And you just look at a bunch of these mid caps and growth stocks, and they're demolished. I mean, there's so many names that are down 50 to 95% from their highs last February. I think a good amount of them could go back up over time, but you never know. It might not be 50. Maybe it comes down to 40 and test these support areas. That's why I'm just looking to slowly start scaling in for a very long-term idea, because you still have so many different things going on. I mean, wars around the world. We're still only now getting our first hike. And inflation, who knows how that ends up in a year. So fundamentally, there's still so many concerns, which is why I can't like go all in tomorrow saying, all right, it's time for the market to bottom. I'm going to go all in. So for me, my personal viewpoint just overall is I think we're starting to get to a point where I might personally finally start actually going long for long-term positions. I haven't really done that since the COVID crash. I've mainly just been short-term trading. And I think we're finally, this is like the first time since the COVID crash that I think we have a lot of good long-term opportunity in a lot of companies, because look at a lot of these names, they're not trading based on the actual companies. I'm not going to name names, but like you could find a bunch of companies that their market caps right now just do not make sense based on what they're doing in revenue, how much profit they're making. It just doesn't add up, and literally nobody cares. and that's the one thing I always say to people who only trade fundamentals and whatnot. You can go find a company with an amazing balance sheet, and they're doing great earnings every single quarter. But if you're talking about all of these global macro events that are just pulling the overall markets, nobody cares about how much cash on hand they have if you have inflation going like crazy. And of course, there's going to be outliers, but I'm just saying overall, we all know this. I've had this rant dozens of times on the channel. It's just a lot of companies are only being priced at where they are right now because of the overall market. They're not being priced based on their actual, literally on their actual stock. And doesn't take a genius to figure that out. But the only thing is, I'm saying it. I'm literally telling you what's happening, and who knows how long this continues to happen, right? So hopefully some of that made sense. But those are my overall thoughts. I think probably towards a month, maybe 2 months more, I think I'm going to start slowly scaling into like leaps on certain names that are down 70-80% from their highs that I like fundamentally and that I think have potential reversals on their charts. But it's not a game of trying to catch a falling knife. In my opinion, it's a game of cost averaging and being very patient. Like if I start getting into arc leaps, I'm probably gonna put like, imagine I had $4 for arc leaps, right? I'd probably put like 50 cents to $1 of my $4 that I want to put into arc leaps within the next like couple of weeks. And then, you know, what if this is the bottom? What if it is? Then still, I don't mind averaging up because it fell for so long. You can go up for just as long, right? A lot of moves in the market replicate themselves in an opposite way. So we'll see what happens. But of course, you know, you can't just bet it all on one thing. Who knows? Maybe Kathy Wood and her firm does a terrible job of trading the upside. So that's why I'm going to be looking around the place. I'll keep you all updated. So that's where I'm currently at. To go back to the S&P 500 and just look a little bit more clearer. No way. Did I really delete this chart? Oh my God, this is going to take me forever. I cannot lose all of my levels on the S&P. All right, so I pretty much just have to span this until that comes back. Is it back yet? I don't want to click anything until I know it's back. Oh gosh. There we go. I was gonna get really scared because I have a lot of stuff even on like lower time frames, and I wasn't trying to rechart every single one of these levels on the 5-minute. That would have made me very upset. So yeah, in terms of the SPY and its price action today, it was crazy. In the morning, you were up. Let's see if I can do this correctly. In the morning, you were up pretty much 1% at one point, and then you ended up topping out. I did say in the Discord 423 was the level I was watching for resistance. You ended up going to 424.5 before topping out. But I was fully expecting the market to pull back when you were up in the morning. I shared puts with premium members, and here's pretty much what happened. And this is something I want you all to take as a lesson. You know, it's not just about calling the right move in the market or in whatever stock you're trading. Timing is very, very, very important. And today I messed up on timing by 25-30 minutes. And that, for me personally, costed about at least 200% in profit. I probably would have been able to take 200% in profit if I'd have messed this up. But I know some people in premium in the Discord were able to profit off this, and they didn't message that. So good job. But right where this blue box is, I alerted puts to premium members this morning. They were same day expiration. I think they were like 421 or something was the strike. And it was just a little move that happened first that made the puts fall first, and then it sold off for the rest of the day. So yeah, my idea for puts, it was a couple different things. It was retesting, or the SPY was retesting a very key level, which I'm circling right now. It was also retesting a supply line, which looked something like this. Let me make that a different color so you can see the difference. It was retesting this supply line, but there was just a little bit of a morning fake out, and then it ended up falling. It was even at like the upper Bollinger Band on the 5 minutes, I believe. So it was looking technically bearish. You were getting a bounce in a bearish market. I mean, you were set up for a lower high. You even had your oscillators telling you that it was going to continue its downtrend. The MACD and the RSI were giving you hidden bearish divergence. So yeah, you had a lot of bearish technicals. You obviously had some headlines that dropped the market further throughout the day. And that was pretty much what happened. So it was 10:41 a.m. All I had to do was wait till like 11 o'clock. But yeah, these contracts, these puts went from like $1 up to like $5, or I think even higher than $5. So that was a good move. But that was the price action from today. Going into tomorrow on the S&P 500. Let's see, let me go to slightly higher time frames, and we're going to look at it just like this, okay? This is primary support going into tomorrow for the S&P, between 415 and 416. That we're talking about the lows from March 8th and your lows from today. Under that support, if you break that support, I will be looking to see the SPY, maybe not tomorrow in itself, but just in general, drop down to about 410.67, which was your low from the morning after Russia invaded Ukraine and your low of the SPY this year. So going into tomorrow, my thesis for tomorrow is going to be based around this 415 to 416 level. Hold above it, and a move up to 421 is possible intraday. If you break that, maybe all the way up to 427, you're probably going to need a catalyst for that. But just level by level. These are the main levels I'm watching tomorrow. They're all charted for you. So break below one level, I'll probably look for a move to the next one. Break above one level, I'll probably look for a move to the next one. But you never know. You got to look at volume as well. If volume's low, you might not get those big of moves. And we are heading into a very big Wednesday. Investors and market participants have been waiting for this Wednesday for months. And speaking of Wednesday, that's another thing you got to keep a very close eye on. A lot of people I'm sure there's a lot of people that just want to be on the sidelines until 2 o'clock Wednesday, or maybe even a little bit after, because they want to see not necessarily what the rate hikes will be. I think it's expected to be 25 basis points, but they want to see how the market reacts to it. And it would be interesting if we got to sell the rumor, buy the news, right? People have been selling the rumor for the past few months for the market and these interest rate hikes, and it would be interesting that once we finally get to the point of, all right, rates are going up, it would be interesting if we did see it buy the news. I don't know if we do. There's a bunch of other factors affecting the market apart from that, but that is one thing that would be interesting to see. We'll see. So that's my overall market analysis. We got 35 people in here. If you're enjoying the stream, Zeke just said in the chat, we got 35 people in here. All right, we've got 50% of that in likes. We need to get more than 50%. All right, let's get those likes up a little bit. Hit that like button. Cheddar Freeze is saying you up 25 basis points. It's already at a 95% probability. So in my opinion, that's how I'm initially going to be looking into Wednesday. I think we could see a sell the rumor, buy the news situation only if it's 25 basis points. But above 25 basis points, I think that gets very, very scary for a lot of investors. However, the probability of that is pretty low. And here's the thing, it's not just what the rate hike is going to be. That's probably at this point the least of most people's concerns. What a lot of people are going to be very focused on is what Powell has to say. I think half an hour after about everything related to the market. He's going to be asked a bunch of different questions, and the phrases and the words and the tone he uses can easily affect the market Wednesday afternoon. So we got to see what that looks like. And yeah, there we go. We got 22 likes now. So hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. That was the market coverage. Shortly, I'm going to be talking about some individual names: Tesla, CLOV, Fisker, AMC, GameStop, Facebook. So we're going to get to that in a second here. I have some announcements before then. Before I even do the announcements, let's take a look at the chat. So we got a lot in the chat. Bala says, my main purpose for attending today's session is to reiterate that pineapple does belong on pizza, and it just simply does not. I see a lot of mods in the chat. Wow. Bala says, happy to see all the familiar faces in here though. Hope you guys are killing it. Likewise. And Joe says, you pick off the pineapple to eat it as a dessert once you're done with the pizza. Russell said he bought some VXX on the SPY put idea in the morning. What's that? looks like a volatility index. Yeah, so this was probably going up as the market was falling. Option expiration week with the Fed Wednesday. I didn't even realize that. So I believe this week is, or this Friday is the third Friday of the month, if that's what you're saying. So major options expirations this week as well, which could increase volatility towards the end of the week. It's like, who knows? I mean, I'll be surprised if we're like going sideways on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because now we have option expiration, and we're going to see what the market is going to be reacting to, or how the market reacts to the FOMC. What's up, Steven? People are going to be watching for whether they hike more than 25 basis points. They will be. Paulo says, I think anything higher would cause a negative reaction. I agree with that. Death cross sounds so menacing. It really does. It sounds very scary. All right, so that's pretty much what I'm seeing in the chat. We're going to get to the individual names in a second here. Multiple announcements though. First off, if you're not on the Discord, that's the number one thing you need to do. That link is in the description. Join the Discord. Also, we have a lot of things going on with Premium. I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but let's start here. So join the Discord. I sent these announcements earlier today. First off, with the streams in general, I know it's been really inconsistent lately. This week, till Thursday night, I'm live at 8:30 EST every night. Well, it was a little bit late today. I was eating, but 8:30 EST this week. I know I said this stream was going to go back to 8:30 like 3 weeks ago, and I've just been all over the place. Like, actually this week, you can get ready to watch the stream at 8:30 EST every night, and then back to kind of anywhere between like 7 and 9 o'clock EST next week until like May, which is when I'm done with my semester. But this week I'll be consistent. Also, I'm thinking about starting a new trading challenge. Cheddar Freeze, Rooster, a lot of the mods helped me out today. We had a good chat about everything that's been going on with the free trading movement and some ideas, and today was a very, very productive day in the Discord. These are only like a handful of the points that are in this channel, which I'm not going to be showing, but a lot of chat and a lot of cool ideas for the near future. So we have all of that. Also, we're thinking about giving out like specific roles. I know a lot of you only do day trades, only swing. So I'm thinking about, or the mods brought up the idea for making like a new channel, just like this verification channel, where in this channel, you have to click both of these emojis to even be able to chat with us. But we're going to make a new channel similar to this, where you can click emojis and you get roles, like for example, day trader role, swing trader role. So you're only going to be getting a notification on your phone or your laptop or whatever you use Discord on, based on whatever you sign up for. So if you sign up for the day trader role, whenever I put out a day trade, you'll get alerted, you'll get a notification, but whenever I put out a swing trade, you won't, and vice versa. So we have those announcements, and then this is the key announcement. Really, really good reaction to it so far. Next week, and I've been saying this since probably last summer, that I was going to be raising the price on Premium every other month for a good amount of time, and this is pretty much going to be like the final price raise, maybe even of the year. I don't know, unless I add like some new features or something later in the year, maybe I'll raise the price again, but currently this is my final price raise that I have planned. I've had like 3 or 4 of them planned. We've already done most of them. This is the final one. So look at them as like rate hikes, right? They're planned, they're forecasted, but you never know. Things can change in the future, right? And that's why I've looked at it. But for right now, this is my final planned hike for the rates of Premium. So that's going to be taking place next week. So anybody who signs up after next week, you're just signing up at, probably the highest price and the same price for the rest of the year. Anybody who signs up until then is technically kind of getting a sale, because you're getting in before that, and you will be grandfathered in, which means you're going to be paying the same price for every month. Now, leading up until that, since a lot of you don't really know what Premium is like, and if I were you, I'd want to know what I'm signing up for. We had some good discussions in the chats today, and I never really even thought I was going to do a free trial for Premium. I just, I've always thought that I've showed a lot. I show you this on stream like every night. If you watch the streams every single night, I'm talking about some sort of trade from Premium and recapping it. So I show a lot, but I guess you don't really get to see like the day to day, and you can't really like scroll through all the channels and see everything for yourself just by watching the stream. But I've always thought, like, I don't know anybody else who has like the same price as me for this stuff. So, it's not like there's like a tough barrier to entry. Other people are charging $500, $600, $700 a month for stuff like this. And I'm charging about $1 a day right now. So I was like, whatever, I didn't really plan on it, but I guess we're doing it. And the reaction to it is a lot more than I expected. So we're doing a free trial up until those prices raise next week. I'm not sure which day it's going to be next week. But there is a free trial. So if you're watching the stream, you can see all of these channels for the first time ever for free up until the price is raised next week. All you have to do to get access is join the Discord. Okay, obviously do your verification, which everybody has to do. Then you come down to this overview channel in premium, click on overview. You read all of this good stuff. Make sure you read all the stuff up here so you understand how everything works. And then you react to this message. So since 4 o'clock today, 50 people have already signed up for the free trial, which is a lot more than I expected. But yeah, if you're interested in that, click this emoji and that'll give you permission to see the premium channels, to join something else I'm about to talk about, and to be pinged whenever I alert anything this week. I'll do, for example, if I alert, something like, let's say I do spy calls. I'm going to be doing this at premium members. So all the premium members who already signed up get it. And then I'm also going to be doing at trial. So anybody who signed up for the trial will also get the alert. And then I'll just, do whatever, blah, blah, blah. So make sure you do that. And then on top of the swings, okay, on top of the options, on top of the watch list, which you now have access to every single watch list I've ever sent. You can go see how they all did. And on top of the bullseye bot from TradyTix, which is giving these automated alerts every single day, I'm also going to be doing live feeds this week. Again, this is completely free, okay? Tomorrow morning and on Thursday morning, I'm going to be doing live feeds. So let me explain that, as well as another thing that's happening on Wednesday. And all this is free. GD Trading says, anyone curious, been yearly for near a year now. I think you mean... so GD Trading has been signed up for annual for almost a year now. Oh my gosh, that just reminded me. The 19th of this month is the 1-year anniversary of premium, I believe. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. So a 1-year anniversary of premium is also going to be a free trial, and the week before the price is raised. That's crazy to think about. But yeah. Thank you for the testimonial in the chat. GD Trading says no regrets and no plans to stop it. All has been great. Yeah, I mean, we've been at 230 members. I don't really talk about it on stream too much, but we've been at 230 members like the whole entire year. We haven't really seen much growth, but honestly, nothing's been growing. I'm still at the same YouTube subs. My Twitter follows actually have fallen like 50. Actually, the Discord is at the same amount of people, so really nothing has grown in the last few months of this bear market. But there's been some premium members leaving and some new ones signing up, but we've still been around like 230. So, the return rate, I think churn rate's the actual word to use, has been really, really good. Most members who have signed up are still signed up, which speaks for itself. But that's a whole different thing. It is 230 is a big resistance, but we have this, okay? 3 different events, all are free this week, okay? So I'm doing a stream every single night this week at 8:30 EST, and then 10 a.m. for the next 3 days, I'm gonna be doing something in the morning. So if you're at work, you can still attend this stuff. You don't have to talk. If you want to talk, you can talk to me, but it's completely fine if I'm the only one talking. I know a lot of you are working, but you can just, if you're at work and you could like have headphones on or whatever, just log onto your computer, throw on your headphones. I'm not going to be like screaming or anything. Like I'll just be talking normally here and there. But here's what we're doing. So 10 a.m. the next 3 days, on Tuesday or tomorrow morning, and on Thursday, I'm doing something called a live feed, which again, to access this, go to the overview channel, hit this roll to sign up for the premium trial, and then you're going to join this live feed channel at 10 a.m. And what I'm going to be doing for the live feeds is it's not going to be, I'm sure you've heard of a lot of people doing live trading. It's not live trading. I'm not sharing my screen. I'm not telling you exactly what I'm buying and selling. I'm not doing that. That's just not for me. I'm doing a live feed, which means I'm just going to be on the microphone. I'm going to be giving intraday market analysis. For example, if I see like 15-minute classic bullish divergence on the SPY developing, I'm going to say that on the mic. I'm going to tell you all periodically what charts I'm looking at, what patterns I'm looking at throughout the day. It's only going to be like for like probably like an hour and a half or something, maybe a little bit shorter depending on how the flow is. And also, whenever I alert something, which is probably going to be an option. If I alert an option, I'm going to obviously like say on the mic that I just alerted something, and I'm going to say what it was. And then as I'm doing the options updates, I'm going to be updating whatever the trade is in the live feed. So you're going to be able to ask me questions. You can turn on your mic and ask me questions, whatever. Like if you want me to take a look at a chart, just say, hey, can you take a look at this? And basically, yeah, just imagine we're just sitting in a conference room and we're just, we're trading separately. You're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, but I'm just telling you whatever, I'm looking at for the most part. That's what the live feed is. It's just my market analysis. You can ask me questions and whatnot. We're going to be doing this twice this week at 10 a.m. And then I'm going to be doing Twitter Spaces on Wednesday at 10 a.m. So instead of the live feed on Wednesday in the Discord, I'm going to be heading over to Twitter with Keanu Trades, who was in the chat earlier. I'm going to be doing live trading with Keanu Trades on Wednesday morning. So very busy week. I wanted to make sure all of you are caught up with everything. If you're interested in any of these, I guess you could just either remember it, or if you go to Discord and you click on these, I don't know if this is going to give you a reminder or what it does, but I'll remind you on the announcements channel, and those are the announcements. So I'm trying my best. I said earlier today, this is the quietest the streams in Discord have been. I tried to do a Q&A over the weekend, like nobody joined it. There was a few people that did end up joining, but I was like 10 minutes later by then. I've done multiple giveaways in the last few months. The streams, like I'm trying as much as I can. It's just very clear that the market has a deep correlation with how the streams and Discord is, but I'm trying everything I can. If you ask the mods, I was in this chat all day looking at their advice and giving my thoughts and feedback. I'm trying my best here, so hopefully you appreciate it. And like I've always said, this is a free trading movement. Of course, there is premium, but everything in premium you could learn through the streams or throughout the rest of the Discord. Premium is just a quicker way to get things for some people, and for some people it's not. And now you can finally see if it's meant for you or if it's not, for free. So I feel like I'm going crazy. Hopefully I'm not, but I'm literally trying to do everything in my power to help all of you out. So help yourself to whatever you want, I guess. I don't know. Check out the links in the description. That'll pretty much give you direct access to everything I just talked about. Now we're going to continue the stream. So that's pretty much all the announcements for the stream. And we're just going to talk about stocks. Now I didn't look at any individual names yet. So let's get started with the classic Fisker and CLOV. Why not? They were both down today. Fisker was down 6%. It's pretty similar to the overall market. At this point, I'd probably redraw my supply line to this. Okay. And I'd say just look at it like that. So you're still under your supply line, but you're above your green demand line. Not much of an edge. Not much of an edge on Fisker on the daily, on the 4 hour. Just kind of going sideways. On the weekly, you're still at the bottom of its, or of Fisker's range, you're still at the bottom of it. So you have that. Just need more data. CLOV pulled back today and it gave up $3. That was a very big key level. It was holding like a little bit of a range for like the second half of last week. It gave it up today, gave up a resistance, a level, and it came back down to this level. And I did say last week on stream, it's always possible to see a back test. And you actually fell a little bit under the back test. It was down 14% today, but this is what I was saying last week. I was even saying, I wish I could put out a swing on CLOV. It broke out of the wedge, the classic bullish divergence, but I can't put out a swing after it goes up 50% in a week. Now it's pulling back. So it is still very, towards the top of my watch list. I'm still keeping a close eye on it. So we will see. So now it's finally pulling back a little bit. It had a very, very nice run after earnings. It's very natural to get pullbacks, especially when the overall market's in a bear trend. But it will take some time to see whether this was like just a pullback or a top. You need more data for stuff like that. So that's CLOV. Apple had some news this morning. Apple's iPhone production could suffer from extended COVID-19 lockdowns in China. You obviously have Foxconn, who is in China. That's Apple's supplier. Also is Foxconn's also working with Fisker as well, if you didn't know. But yeah, so there was that news. Apple actually gave up the 200-day moving average today. I was watching it when it was retesting it intraday, and it couldn't break above it. It was giving it up, and this is your first day closing under the 200-day moving average on Apple since June 3rd of last year. So the next support on the daily is kind of like this green demand line, but it's also testing a pretty important area on the 4 hour. You can see this previous resistance, it's testing it. If it doesn't hold this, then Apple also has a potential Gartley over here. A few different levels, so that's your chart for Apple. A lot of people are asking me about that one today. Tesla. I was talking about Tesla last week. I was saying last week that I was watching Tesla for a potential breakout. It just never confirmed it. And I did say that, I think, on my last stream, which was Thursday night, maybe, where it rejected it. So Tesla was very close. I mean, in a parallel universe, Tesla broke out here and would have been on its way to like 945. Unfortunately, it never confirmed a breakout, and now it's just pulling back. So it's pretty similar to the overall market. You know, there's a resistance just above it and the lows from February 24th below it. Apart from that, there's a couple of the swings. Facebook is cents above, or closed cents above the stop. This one's hanging on by a thread. We know this. The swings have just not been doing well this year. SEC is still around the entry. I mean, we're talking about a super large pattern. There's not much to update on for Smile Direct Club. But yeah, we know this. The swings haven't done too great this year. I'm waiting. And, you know, it sucks that none of them are really working out. There actually was a really nice one last week in premium. It was this one. I played out in one day. PVF, it was a 26% in one day. But for the most part, you know, apart from maybe like 10, a lot of the swings just haven't worked out for the majority of this year. I mean, it's not easy for them to work out when you have mid caps doing something like this. You know, they're just not getting more than a few days of an uptrend for the most part, which is why there's been a much lower amount of swings in general, right? This is like, for example, this is the premium sheet right now. There's literally 3 swings on the sheet. You go back like 5 or 6 months and this would have been like 15. So it still looks, you know, the win rate is still like a 0%, but the amount of swings is literally like a fifth of the amount of swings I was putting out like last summer. So that's really how I've gone about it. And of course, this has been the bread and butter throughout the year, the options, which is why I started sharing this outside of premium as well. And now you all can see the premium options. This is definitely the best stat sheet of the last few months in terms of alerts that I've put out publicly. You can't really add up and subtract percentages like that, but this is just an easy way for me to do it. Don't think of 13,000% as like a return. It's not a 13,000% return. Just think of it as the sum of the wins and the losses. It's just a way to visualize it, okay? But yeah, I mean, you could see very, very profitable. I mean, this is pretty much like this is pretty much 2022. So while you had an official bear market, okay, a 20% decline in the NASDAQ and the Russell, this is how I've traded short-term, primarily calls. There are some puts in here, but these are primarily call options. You can ask premium members. No, all of you can go see for yourself at this point. You could find some puts in here, but these are all primarily calls. You can all go check it out yourself. You can see it. You know, all of you have seen this sheet on stream before, but now you can go fact check it, I guess. These are all real trades. I mean, this 7 trade win streak, this 9 trade win streak, you can see the percentage potential returns, all that stuff. So yeah, this is throughout a bear market as well. Honestly, I think the last like 2 months were even better than like up here. I mean, yeah, so that's how we've been doing. And actually, I mean, the first time I'm ever doing a free trial for premium, I tweeted this earlier today. I'm doing my first ever free trial in a bear market. And today was the first day in like 2 months that we lost 2 trades back to back. I mean, look up. Technically, one of them still did run like 400%, which was the SPY puts like I showed you earlier. But yeah, bear market, and the first time the market was tough enough for me to lose 2 trades on the same day is when I'm starting a free trial in premium. This is just me trying to tell you all. I'm just trying to give you education. You know, I could have just waited 6-7 months or whatever it is for the market to become a bull market again, and it'll probably be a lot easier then, but whatever. So that's pretty much what I had planned for the stream. We can do some ticker requests. I don't think I really missed anything. And the following streams this week, I'm not going to be like breaking down like all that premium stuff and the Discord stuff as long as I did tonight. I just had to do it at least once this week. I'm sure I'll give you all reminders throughout the week, but you know, the rest of the streams this week will be a lot more chart focused. I just had a lot to talk about this stream. So thank you for the 30 likes. Really appreciate it. Keep hitting the subscribe button. This is the first time we've had like 30 people in here consistently in a while. AMC, I did forget that actually. AMC and GameStop, I want to look at both of those. This was another swing that did work out. This hit 2 targets. I alerted this AMC swing at some point this year. It wasn't too long ago, honestly. Let's see if we can find it. Right here. It was a month ago, pretty much. Yeah, I literally this AMC swung on February 8th. And it hit 2 targets for a 30% gain, and now it's pretty much the initial swing is pretty much over. But AMC, there's 2 different ways to look at AMC right now. One, if we just look at it like this, you're breaking under your support, or you're at least testing a breakdown. You didn't really close under it. Or 2, this could be the potential double bottom at a PCZ of a 1-year long bullish Gartley. That's another way to look at it. So another one that's at a make or break area, you know. And if it does start bouncing here, then you have potential triple classic bullish divergence. The variables could change either way, but the variables are just not really set in stone right now. And then GameStop was down 16% today, lowest close since, I mean, probably like February of last year. So in over a year, this is your lowest close on GameStop. It went from 484 down to 78. Of course, it did initially go from like a few bucks to 480 or whatever. So, I mean, a lot of people will talk about this part of it, but a lot of people aren't talking about this part anymore. Of course, everybody was talking about this part when it did happen, but you're now selling off on GameStop. There really isn't much I can do here. I mean, we can go on like the weekly. On the weekly, your next support's $64. It's your previous high or all-time high from 08. 64, and then those levels. Those are like your next levels on like the weekly chart for GameStop. So that's GameStop. Futures are still slightly green, but not too green. Wallace says, I wish I could drop the I'm not leaving meme in here. Wolf of Wall Street. Wallace says, excuse my language, but you're going to be huge one day. Best community ever. Appreciate it. Plebray says, massive stuff this week. Keep up the grind. Thank you. Nerve says, vibes. How you doing, Nerve? Rusty gives vibes. Keep up the good work, lad. Thank you, Rusty. THCXLINDKO says, thank you for taking a look at ENPH the other day. That was super helpful. Yeah, I wonder what it's doing now. I don't really remember what I said about it, to be honest, but I think we did talk about, I mean, it's charted. It was at a make or break area, I guess. Resistance, 200-day moving average. Now it's falling back down towards this support. You don't see the divergence on S&P futures on the daily. I don't really chart the S&P. I really haven't touched this chart in months. I don't really chart the S&P futures too much. Divergence. No, I do not see divergence on the daily because it's technically, for this to be divergence, it still could eventually happen, but it's not divergence until you make a lower low. You need the oscillators and the MACD to be doing the opposite thing. So, not currently divergence, no. It would just be called potential convergence, where your oscillator is trying to make a higher low and so is the price. Alright, so we'll look at a few different charts. We'll start off with CLF, Tezos. It's at the top of a range. Apart from that, there's not much to talk about. If it breaks above 2650, you could see the next level. If it can't, next support's around 2176. Tezos, I mean, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're still just going sideways. So I'm not really focused on many cryptos right now. I mean, this could maybe be looked at as, one bottom, two bottoms, and you probably just want to make a higher low above like 250 at this point for Tezos. That's probably what I'd focus on. And then you could probably draw a supply line here as well, whatever you want to do with it. BBI, there's not much I can do on this chart. I mean, a little bit of a wedge, sure. Maybe it's breaking out of the wedge too. And then we could just chart levels. And those are your big levels. There you go. That's really all I can do here. Micron, that's not Micron, sorry. MULN, I didn't see that. It only shows me, well, it's gonna extend now, but it was only showing me this MU. MULN, I mean, this broke out of a wedge, but hasn't really done much. It's trying to reclaim 160, that's good. This little double bottom from back here. It's making higher lows slowly but surely. It's trying to reverse. Hopefully it can just stay above 160-ish, that's really it. And then the other levels are charted. Medi. Oh, you did answer me. Okay, I need to look at that after the stream. We looked at Facebook. There's really not much update. It's just kind of sitting around the stop of the swing. Yeah, AMC does have potential divergence on the 1 hour, but it's all about seeing if it can reclaim or if it can't reclaim 15. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to be said here. That's crazy. I don't know. This actually might be like a big harmonic. And I think somebody did send this in Discord as well. It's pretty close to just like a shark, I mean, I guess. And you also could get like quadruple classic bullish divergence here. It looks like you're oversold on the weekly. You know, I'd probably just look at the fundamentals here, you know that. And then you could like just chart like that. That's probably how I'd look at it. It's pretty much testing a demand line at this point. Nova, this is a big level, 25. I rejected it on the first try, so you're low from over here, low from over here, high from here, low from here. It's 25, so make a break area on this one. Other levels are charted as well. And then Walmart, I'd probably look at it like this. Kind of broke out of a wedge, and these are your levels. All right, so that's how I look at that. Futures pulling back, it looks like they're back to flat after being pretty green or slightly green. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the stream. I'm really tired, and tomorrow morning is going to be hectic potentially. We'll see what happens. So join the Discord, sign up for the free trial for premium. It's only available till next week when the prices will raise. If you want to just sign up before then, please do so. Well, I mean, you do whatever you want to do, but if you want to sign up before the end of next week because the prices will be raising. But of course, do the free trial first. And yeah, thank you for watching the stream. Join the Discord. Cheddar Freeze, just put the link in the chat. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you at 10 a.m. in the morning if you're going to be joining the voice call or not. All right, have a good night. Good luck tomorrow if you choose to trade, and peace out.